Hello bros and welcome to Aspect Zero Profile Production and me showing you how to build a functional working creeper farm. Okay, so the best place to actually build a creeper farm in my opinion is near Mushroom Island, or most people would say deep sea ocean, but drowns do spawn. They do spawn here too, but at least you do get the pleasure of building on a mushroom island. So, let's just start by first setting up the collection system, as that is one of the first things we actually do need. And then let's just encase this in somewhat functional way. So it's been a while since I did an actual tutorial how to build a farm. We do have the iron farm down, so now it's creeper farm's turn, because that is usually the second one I build. But now, when you have where the creeper's gonna fall down and die, you need to build around 25 blocks up. For that, the creepers die at 24 height fall damage. This is not needed, but I usually put some carpet here just so there won't be any mishaps, which I have actually never experienced. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So now let's just build all of that up. As I did last time, I'm still gonna show you how the whole process is done. So if you want to build it beside me, you can do it, so as long as you have all the materials, which, and as last time, I do not count how much material you actually do need, because I would definitely count wrong. Just have a good supply of all the stuff I have in my action bar. Besides the trapdoors, that you should have a crazy amount of. I mean, seriously, I did make a crazy amount of it. I mean, a single chest full of trap doors. And yeah, I do not have too many of them left. I don't even have a stack of them left after I was done with my creep farm in my latest world. I do actually also am working on getting a mod pack working, which do actually encase Vault Hunters and the Lord of the Rings mod. I cannot get them to cooperate really yet, but if I do actually manage to get them to cooperate, I will actually attempt to contact this guy in permission to upload it to CurseForge so people can actually try it out. Of course, I do have it where Tinker's Construct in Vault Hunters right now. I know Iskall have said that it's too overpowered to actually be allowed to use, but I mean, I think it's still fair. And I also do actually have Spartan weaponry in it, so yeah, I kind of go overboard anyway. I mean, all the debuffs in the Vault Hunters is a little too much. And I do actually play in 1.16.5, considering I can't get the Lord of the Rings mod in 1.18. Alright, now let's build 8 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this farm actually also will be looking pretty similar to another farm, but that farm was way less efficient in my opinion. So I do have done this to my own devices. Hey, there's a sea temple there. interesting. Why does it always seems that Mushroom Island always spawn close to these frozen taps or whatever those biomes called? Actually, what is those biomes called? Because it always seems every time I actually do build find a Mushroom Island, there's always this. Okay, deep frozen ocean apparently. I don't know why. It always seems that those are close to the. Also, my farm is more efficient in another way. You can actually run around on the ground and do whatever you want close to this farm, and it will still produce what you want. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, the farms that I've seen, they do produce, but not as fast as you would like. My farms does actually produce. I hope this will actually produce as as fast as I usually get that. I mean, AFKing is all you need, but depending on where you build it, it will actually yield different produce, how fast you get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I usually build it close on a Mushroom Island because it does actually produce faster. The last world I did start building on a Mushroom Island, I have not gotten even close. I have not gotten to the end yet. I usually get the trading hall up before I go to the end. And then you build 3 up so you can continue with this. 3 up is more enough for the creepers to actually jump down. If you build 4 up, that would actually might not work. Trust me, I've tried. I tried a lot of different kinds of builds, and this is the creeper farm I usually go with. It does produce enough. I mean, when creepers die from fall damage, they don't always actually drop gunpowder, I discovered. So, it's well, at least in hard difficulty. I don't know about normal difficulty or easy difficulty. I mean, I'm always playing on hard difficulty because the mobs does get too easy in the end otherwise. I do not believe I will ever make a hardcore world, though. I do not like the aspects of that. I mean, even if I died in a hardcore world, I would still like to go around it for some times and just see what happens. Just see where we get, what we missed, and what could have been if we didn't die. But I don't want to have to be limited by that. Alright, now it's a water stream that ends in the middle here, so the creepers will always float down and die there. Alright, let's build up the entire platform now when we have this. I'm gonna fly around and do this cause okay, that will be very annoying. I do seem actually to fix the sound issue I had because for some reason my voice was doubled, and it doesn't seem to be like that anymore because for some reason some some extra sound recording device that I have no idea what it is actually seems to have been existed and active. I deactivated it, and since then I have not noticed any sound issues. What the hell is the lightning trying to do to me? Is the lightning the omens of Herobrine? I mean, what's the last update? Update before that? They say they did not remove, did not say that they removed Herobrine. They did not say they added him because he has been gone for a long time. I mean, he was in the older version and just joined your world even if you weren't single player. Herobrine is a bad omen. My brother actually did check what Herobrine meant, and it apparently means false hero. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on talking while I'm building this, because this is actually taking a good while to build, no matter what you do, and my phone can stay silent. But let's so after this I still gonna make a sugarcane farm, then the wool farm. I am not sure how I gonna make that properly, because I have not made any. I have tried to make a new better version of it, but well, it did not really work out as well as I hoped. But I mean, how you can. I do gonna try to make a more efficient wool farm. So the wool farm is the last one I'm gonna do. Alright, now we have this. And now 2 up. And just build around the entire one. And then we're gonna continue from there on with the most important part to actually make a functioning creeper farm that doesn't spawn in skeletons or other things. Actually, too high does actually prevent most spawns, but yeah, you know. Yeah, that's gonna keep on getting annoying. Actually, considering it's a thunderstorm, I do actually have the possibility to sleep. Yeah, I didn't care what bed it was, I just took the first bed I got my hands on. Alright, the rain should stop. Yep, there's the rain gone. Now we can continue building without interruptions, hopefully. Let's just build. Just give me a few seconds. It's actually getting a little bit cold right now, and I do have my hoodie ready to use. I do usually AFK in all the worlds I build since the villager update. I mean, before the village update, I could not do a damn shit. I mean, if I wanted anything, I had to mine for it. I did still try to trade with villagers, but it was much more complicated to trade with villagers back then. Alright, so now, to prevent any spiders from being able to spawn in here, you should do this. Trust me, for this entire one you need 2 stacks if you want to build one that actually has double producing, which I usually do, because no matter what, gunpowder, you never get it fast enough. I mean, in the Vault Hunters with Tinker's Construct world I did make, and yeah, I needed bombs to clear out a lot of the terrain. So yeah, that did. I needed a bombs for Tinker's Construct for that. So I needed a gunpowder, because it takes 4 gunpowder for 1 bomb, but the bombs are very effective. And I did not have enough gunpowder for farming, considering I was on a mushroom island. I would have enough gunpowder for a few bombs if I didn't live on a mushroom island, but yeah, everything. Alright, you should probably have put down these trapdoors because these gonna be a little annoying. But you put trapdoors there, and trapdoors here, and then in the middle. You should use oak trapdoors because I found out that the other trapdoors actually does not always work when you want to lure mobs to walk on them. For some reason, like spruce trapdoors, I found out does not work to lure mobs on them. I don't know why. There might have been a fluke, but oak trapdoors is more liable to make sure that it actually works. Because mobs do think they are a solid block to step on, but it's not. I hope they never do it so that mobs actually can detect if they're open or not. Because that would destroy a lot of different kinds of farms. But you need a lot of trapdoors, and no way I'm gonna count how many, because if I try to count how many, I would go insane before I'm even 30. And that's bad. I mean, I'm not even 30 yet. I mean, I started YouTube when I was 17. And then soon it will have been 10 years. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for the 10-year anniversary. I do actually even have found a replacement for Dying Light 2. This one will be out just before that. So yeah, Dying Light 2 is going offline at least until it's updated again. And I'm probably gonna make a private world, what I'm just gonna play on for fun. And so, because the updating the world I had did not find out well because of all mobs. Okay, now when you have this set up, it's time to make sure that nothing else than creepers spawns. So you just do like this, trace the entire way with trapdoors. Each row trapdoors. It's a lot of trapdoors you need, but this will ensure that nothing else than creeper spawns, which is what you want if you want a lot of gunpowder available. None of the trapdoors have to be open. So let's do this. The sugarcane farm is pretty simple, and that's like one of the only of my farms, unless the actual wool farm does not do as it's supposed to. My sugarcane farm is the only one that actually have lost produce, because all the produce it makes doesn't always get collected, but it does collect most of it, because you get enough sugarcane anyway. What does my cat do? My cat is sitting behind a stool and thinks I can't see him. I always see where you are. Funny thing is, my cat actually knows what I'm saying, and I know what he's saying. We understand each other that well. When he wants something, he says it, and I do know what he says. He's about to go outside now. Yeah, I have an outside cat. I would never torture a cat by having an indoors cat. I mean, I feel it like torturing an animals. Because no animal should be confined to indoors. Of course, dogs, you can't always have them outdoors in the free, because they do potentially run away. Certain dogs you can walk without a leash, and yeah, that does actually follow you. But some dogs does take that opportunity to run away. But it's because they're free animals. All animals should be free to do what they want. But that's just my opinion. I mean, you wouldn't like put a person that can't speak in confinement, right? Because animals are actually smarter than humans usually, actually. Yeah, I have actually tested that. Animals know what they're doing, and they don't know not to destroy everything just because it doesn't agree with them. And I don't think any animal would ever cross the Industrial Revolution, which actually is destroying the planet. Okay, it's gonna be open in the middle because that's where we're gonna make a second level that's gonna be exactly the same level as this one. Because that does double the potential creep response. I hope that during our building of this, a creeper or two will spawn so we can actually see that it actually does produce. I mean, those are the most normal farms I make. Iron farm, gunpowder farm, sugarcane farm, and wool farm. I do actually have the gold farm also, but it is much more similar to another person's farm. I don't know if it's actually too similar. And I can't for the life remember where I saw that building, so I can't exactly give credit to the original creator. But I do believe that farm is enough of mine because it does actually have a few features that I do find much more useful than the original one. What more do I have that I can talk about? Okay, I'm just gonna do this in reverse to be able to place them down faster. I usually do them in a normal row, but still. Right, now let's put cobblestone, no I mean stone bricks all over this. If I actually did look into more commands a little easier, I would probably be able to build this a lot faster, but we are doing it for survival, so yeah. I am actually going to the movies tomorrow, so I thought, hey, let's get this done now. I'm gonna watch Avatar: The Way of Water with my mother and her boyfriend, and also bring along my best friend as a Christmas present. We usually give all the presents, each other presents in the way of movies. Well, I mean, we started it doing it like that when what the hell was it? I can't remember what the movie was called, but we watched that one, and then there came a second one that we also watched in the movies. The funny thing is, the second time, it actually was only we in the entire theater. There was not a single other person. We had the entire theater to ourselves. Funny thing, does the theater not show the movie if there are no one that buy the tickets? It was actually very fun to have an entire theater to yourself. I mean, some people do have a home theater, but I mean, it's not the same feeling. I do wish I could find a way for VR to be like, if you look around, you're in a theater, but I have not find anything that works for my set, because I have the Steam version of it. So yeah. Alright, so now we have that level done. And now we're gonna do the same on this level. Because I do find that 2 levels are much more effective. Of course, you can do as many levels as you like, but I usually do 2 levels, and that does produce enough gunpowder for me. I mean, I usually have I usually AFK while I sleep. Let's just get these up. So, it's one big mistake you can do here, which is actually pretty simple to actually not make, but it does happen. I think I accidentally did it once, but I didn't get far enough before I noticed it. So here you can use like any blocks you have too much of, which usually the blocks anyone have too much of is dirt. To do one thing, let me just get the walls up before we get on with that. Alright, now let's just set up the walls for the water streams. I mean, while we wait for the lower level to actually does produce some gunpowder, so I can prove that it actually does work, we can likewise build a second level. Alright, so now you need to remember to fill these in. Because if you do not fill these in, some things can spawn in here, and well, they have nowhere to go, so they pretty much just wait to despawn. This would easily fill up the spawning slots if you did not fill these, and I usually fill them in with dirt so that so I don't have to use anything I probably need. And the top one, you just use whatever you like to build this farms out of. I might actually do something in the future that is like pretty, make these forms prettier, because sometimes people want to make a world where they actually can make everything look good, and these floating, well, technically not floating, boxes does not exactly fulfill that purpose. And I do know if as long as you, like, let's say, uh, in the middle of that island, this actually does produce. I found out because I've been a good bit away from these boxes, and they do actually still produce fairly enough. And you don't need a spawn room like 50 blocks away from this just to be able to farm. I mean, I do build a reasonable amount of safe rooms in my world. I mean, a safe room is always useful. Fill this in with lava and pour water on it, but that would technically take longer time than just doing this like I'm doing it right now. Just fill it all in. I never make these fonts in Creator. I mean, I do not actually use Creator Worlds that much. I mean, I'm always going on with survival worlds. I mean, when I was younger, I did play in the free version on the web browser, but I mean, it quickly gets old. Well, it can you're occupied during your breaks. I mean, school technically is designed to kill your brain. Yeah, I'm going with that. Schools are government conspiracy on killing your brains, making you docile and obedient. Actually, that might actually be true. I'm not gonna say it's true, but I do believe it's true. They want you to be docile and obedient so you can make money for the government or overlords or whatever. I mean, school, they're never gonna be fun. They have tried to make school more fun for years. That doesn't work. Funny thing is, before I got a new computer, I had a good amount of cursed worlds. I mean, all my worlds that I created was cursed. I mean, I do not exactly know what was it, but every time I heard the sound of the curse, I was afraid of what's gonna happen. I mean, I even sent it into Mojang and they couldn't even explain it. Which means the world was definitely cursed. I mean, I did manage to record the sound and turn it to an MP3 file and sent it to them. So they listened to it, but they couldn't identify what it was. And I guess if I was actually started messing around with my Minecraft files and actually look for the sound files, and when I found them, actually look around and see if I can find that sound again, I bet it's not there. And actually, I'm gonna turn off the music because I don't want YouTube to keep on messing with me about the sound of Minecraft. I mean, they do it to all the all the people that do Minecraft clips. I mean, it's the sound of the game. No one ever complain about it. But YouTube is fucked up. Yeah, I have no problem saying that. YouTube can do a shit about me saying that. I mean, the YouTube is broken. I can understand they have restrictions to certain things, but seriously, what is the problem with most of the things they have? I mean, they have problems. I mean, they age restricted one of my clips because of the thumbnail. Sure, the thumbnail does exist in the video, but seriously, you cannot age restrict something that is actually not even showing anything that's illegal. I mean, even little girls sleep in that those clothes. I mean, YouTube need to put a lid on it. I mean, did someone buy YouTube or something and just decide, hey, I'm gonna ruin everything? Because that is what happened. Everything was ruined. I mean, every person liked my Sakura clips. I mean, those are my most popular clips. At least my sound is now working, so I can make the clips better. I mean, I made it Sakura for like forever. You know they made one Sakura that wasn't actually named Sakura? It was called Would You Like to Run a Maid Cafe? I mean, I do personally believe a maid cafe would actually be very successful. But if you want to just sit there without ordering anything, I would say you at least have to pay entrance. I mean, this is probably what takes the longest. So a lot of fun, considering the light actually passed through these trapdoors that easily. Of course, after this level, we're gonna cap it up by putting slabs on top. But you can technically do as many of these levels as you want. And of course, for the more levels you build, the faster probably produce gunpowder. But the higher you build, the more of an eyesore it's gonna be. Because I usually do a hopper line till my storage room. I'm actually started to make it so that my main storage room actually is directly connected to the farm, so I can get it to where I usually store my stuff. Of course, the production is so much that I used to need several boxes to do that, but still gives me what I want. keep on building. It's too bad that you always have to crouch to make sure to place the trapdoors on a trapdoor. I mean, I think it should be some feature that you can put on like caps lock. So if cap lock's on, you can actually place trapdoors on trapdoors without like them opening. Of course, eventually we'll get some person that actually wonder why the hell doesn't it work. But like, if you don't hold the trapdoor in your hand, still be able to do this. Would make sense. At least the carpets, as long as there is not a forced space opened, that a spider can't actually spawn. So as long as there's not one of these carpets missing, spiders can't spawn and for whatever reason block up the spawning rate. When you build these farms where you usually hang around, so they actually do produce. Of course, you can build these farms just about anywhere. The thing is, unless you light up the entire area so no random spawns that you can't control happens, it does mean you are technically not getting good output. Let's keep on going. Last row, and then we're gonna put slabs above here, and hopefully by the time we have done that there will have been some production. I haven't heard anything, so I do not know if any creepers have spawned and fallen down. We should be done as soon as all the slabs are up. Yeah, if you run out of things to talk about, this is pretty much what's happening. I mean, it happens usually in my Minecraft. I run out of things to talk about, so it's just building and talking, and I usually forget to talk even. Because I'm very focused while I'm doing that. There. That was all the bit. So that is how pretty much how big the box gets in the end. And you can try to break it up yourself if you like. And if I'm right, no. So what should we do? I will wait a little bit. We can have it at night time. I mean, it will produce, and I believe it still produce if you actually this far away even. I mean, I think it is usually this far away I usually am from it. I mean, people usually like right about here build a box that they sit in while they're waiting for resources to spawn. But I don't believe that is necessary at all. See? 3 gunpowder. Even more gunpowder. Okay, this seems to be producing very fast. But as you heard, 2 creepers did spawn, but they did not drop anything. I don't know, is this on hardcore? I don't know. But creepers doesn't always drop gunpowder, which is making a very efficient creeper farm much harder than it should be. But you can build this as many levels up as you like until you feel like you're getting too much gunpowder and you technically maybe blow this whole thing up for some reason. But at least that does then mean that's how you build a gunpowder farm, and that's all I have. So hit like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.